Hello, greetings from Germany. I'm here in our garden, about a 5-minute walk from our house, and as you can see, it is raining. The reason I use this space during the coronavirus is to get a little office space away from home where the kids and the family activities and schoolwork and play happens, and we're real thankful to have a garden with a little hut, a little space heater where we can get some work done and to get some focus and time for reflection. Many of you probably wondering what life is like during the coronavirus here in Germany. And I would say it's been a long experience now of having our normal routines significantly altered. We just started work back again about a week or two ago at Kinderreich, where we offer an after-school program, doing it in a limited fashion, but it has now definitely started to take more of time on our family because we still have to do childcare and handle a lot more work responsibilities. We're doing homeschool with the kids. Every week, teachers bring by their material, and at the end of the week, we drop it off at the school. And the kids, I think, are overall doing well. They're learning a lot, but it's not the same being in school with their friends, and it's not the same for us. Rebecca's been doing most of the schoolwork with them and been doing a fantastic job. We've kept up some responsibilities and ministry duties, mainly using Zoom and Skype as a way to connect with people. I have a lot of individual appointments during the week, especially in discipleship and huddles, where I'm working with also small groups. And for me, that's been actually really good, especially when there's a lack of overall busyness to work right now. It's been nice to have those personal meetings where I can focus and be with people. One of the things that I've been thinking about how to frame this time as someone involved in ministry, and because of the social distancing, we can't spend that time with people and connect with people that we're normally used to doing, and which actually really defines our approach here. I've thought about this quite a bit, and one of the first scriptures we did as the coronavirus was starting to have its impact and outbreak, and we could still meet as a community, we talked about the verse in Matthew where Jesus talks about loving your enemies and how it rains on the just and the unjust. Maybe because it's raining, I have been prompted to think about this more significantly, but I've had this thought in my head for a while. I read a book by Alan Kreider called Patient Ferment, and one of the chapters deals with how the Christians had just a different and more peculiar witness and distinctive lifestyle in that time period. One of the big experiences that everybody went through in the Mediterranean back then was a plague that caused untold suffering and death. And Christians and pagans were caught up in the impact and tragedy of this. What do you do in that time when literally people are dying all around you and suffering? Who do you turn to in that time? And the Christians in Carthage met to discuss this. And the scripture of it rains on the just and the unjust was used as a way to kind of find purpose and identity again as Christians, that in many ways we are no better than others, and in many ways we're supposed to love others, and exactly in times of crisis And that catalyzed the community really to have a different approach and a posture to this, where they cared for those that needed care, took care of dead bodies, and served others. And it was quite remarkable how it gave shape to the community, and Christians were known to respond differently in a time like this. I think we've seen lots of people responding everywhere in different ways, and I think many churches have been catalyzed by this to reach out, and it's different in many different contexts. I think what I've come to realize about that scripture is that when it rains on the just and the unjust, to me that's very symbolic of the incarnational approach that we have. Jesus came to us to be with us, to know what it meant to suffer, to be human, to live a life where many things are beyond our control. And I think that that's a metaphor for how we do our ministry, one where we want to be with people and be present with people. And so for when I think of the rains on the just and the unjust alike, it's a call for presence, to be in the midst of everything just like everybody else. I think sometimes we can get caught up in trying to be productive, maybe, to be effective in our responses. And I think that there are really good and meaningful ways to be responsible in a time like this. I think what we've tried to do, and I think it's a good reminder to many of us, is that simple presence in people's lives is very important. It's been part of the story during coronavirus of how many more meaningful conversations we've had with people just because they're reaching out. They're trying to understand, trying to make sense. Maybe they're worried. Maybe they have existential questions. Maybe there's been some real pain involved in this and fear of loss, maybe job or people sick and potentially being sick. But I haven't experienced this kind of, in our ministries the whole time we're here, to this level where just you feel like there's a sense behind people's reasons why they're calling or reaching out or touching base in a very different way. And I think for us, we've tried to really be sensitive to that and see that as a real purpose. So I think it's that call to be present in the midst of life, where it's just and unjust alike. Today I was at a funeral. One of our kids at the Kinderreich, where we do an after-school program, his grandmother died in this time period. It's not known if she died because of the virus, but she definitely had some of the symptoms. I felt like I didn't do much today, but I felt very honored that I could be present and be part of that, and that I was invited to that. I think there's other ways we get invited into presence and to minister than we think. And it's not always in how much we do or how much we organize, but responding to those that are seeking to relate. And that's something that has blessed us in this time, and I think given us a lot of meaning as we feel like we can't do as much. So blessings, greetings from Germany. We are safe, we are healthy, and looking to the horizon of when life might return to some semblance of normal or gain some more routines that looked like similar to what it was before. Thank you for your prayers, and thank you for your concern, and just yeah, pray that you, in your context and in your town and your street, that you can find meaning in being present for God in these times.